you're buying comics here at ComicCon, one of the things you should look into is getting them graded so you can maximize your profits in the long run. With me is Vincent from MetropolisComics.com, and it looks like that's one of the things you guys do.
We do. We sell a lot of graded comic books, CGC graded comics. Yes, absolutely.
Now, let's talk a little bit about what CGC is. Can you explain what that is?
Basically, it's a third-party grading system, whereas before, comic dealers would grade a comic book and sell them, and buyers would buy them. What it's evolved into is you now have a third party that will grade the comic books. They have nothing to do with the buying and selling of the comic books, so there's an unbiased opinion as to the grade, and it becomes a more standard practice where people say, oh, okay, that's in a holder with an 8.0 on it. That's an 8.0, and I can buy it at a certain price. Whereas in the past, sometimes maybe the dealer didn't spot restoration, or the buyer didn't spot restoration, or the book was misgraded because there was something was missed. Now you have 3 experts grading it and a restoration expert doing a restoration check, and then encapsulating in a holder so that nothing else can happen to the book afterwards. And that's how it's done.
Sounds like a little bit of a lengthy process. What are some of the specific things, you got some examples here, that they're looking for when they go to graded comics?
Sure. Well, let me show you a couple of books. First one is Amazing Fantasy 15. This is the first appearance of Spider-Man, everybody's favorite character, I think, right?
That's my personal favorite.
There you go. I knew it. So basically with Spider-Man, this comic book, let's say, before CGC grading, or let's say even right now, if this wasn't in a holder, it would be very difficult for me to get the top dollar price on it. With it in a CGC holder, guys who have money that want to buy this comic book but don't necessarily know how to grade it very, very well will be more confident to buy this book in a holder. And they'll spend the $150,000 it would take to buy it.
And to get a 9.0, you were talking about really almost mint condition here, no bent corners, no discoloration, what kind of things?
Only very, very minor defects on the book. Yeah.
And it looks like we have our distinguished competitor, DC Comics.
Yeah.
Before they were actually DC Comics, well, this was when they became DC Comics, Detective Comics for number 27, first appearance of Batman.
First Batman, great. And this comic book also is just, it's exploded. This year we had 2 major sales that hit the news all over the world. The first sale was the first $1 million comic book, Action Comics #1 in 8.0 condition. That was our company, our online auction site, ComicConnect.com. After that, a month later, we sold another comic book, an 8.5, which is the highest graded copy known to exist of Action Comics #1. We sold that for $1.5 million. What this did is this had a cascade effect into other key Golden Age and Silver Age characters, and this book jumped up in value tremendously. This book right now can be bought right here at the con for $320,000. A few years ago, it might have been half that price.
And that's at a 4.0.
4.0.
What kind of grading is it? It looks like we have wrinkles and stuff.
Yeah,
so
you have basically what you have here is you'll have a spine split over here that's about 1 inch. You have some color breaks on the book, a little bit of foxing, which is when fungus and bacteria grow on it, and some minor abrasions and discoloration. So basically when you have that, it brings the grade down. And the back cover is pretty dandy. It has some stains on it, which also detracts from it being close to that perfect grade.
So still, if you have something that looks a little beat up in your closet, it's worth kind of checking out.
Give us a call. Yeah. And I'll show you one more book.
One more book, a real classic. This is a kind of a crown jewel of the comic books here, Action Comics #1.
This is the holy grail of holy grails. This is Action Comics #1, first Superman. This is the comic book that started the entire superhero craze, created by Siegel and Schuster. The great thing about this book is a great story behind it. We're going to be auctioning this off in the Comic Connect event auction starting August 27th. And a really fantastic story with this. We just put out the story behind this comic book. Basically, there was a family in Oklahoma that moved into the wife's father's home. They decided to start a business. They started their business, and unfortunately, let me backtrack. They moved into the home. They took a second mortgage out on the home to start a business. Unfortunately, the business failed due to the economy and everything, and the bank was coming in to repossess the home. So, with tears in their eyes, they were packing up the house, went into the basement, and found her dad's box of comic books. Most of the comic books were very inconsequential, maybe worth $30, $40. However, they stumbled upon this book, Action Comics #1. Superman Saves the Day.
And you guys are going to grade this one right here at Con, right?
We are going to give this to CGC to grade, and we'll have it in a holder for the auction in August.
Roughly, what do you think this is going to kind of grade out at?
I'm not sure yet. Really not. We're going to leave it up to them.
So if somebody wants to buy or they're looking to maybe get some of theirs graded, metropoliscomics.com?
Yes, either metropoliscomics.com, which is our straight dealer site. We're the largest dealers of vintage comic books in the world. We have over 150,000 pre-1975 comic books available on our site. For our online auction and consignment site, where people can post their own comic books, and we work as a way station like a middleman, and we make a 10% commission, that's comicconnect.com, and that's where this book will appear on August 27th.
So don't forget to check your basements. You might have something worth $1.5 million laying in a box somewhere. For Time Warner Cable, I'm Noah Park.